Hello, this is Professor Thomas. This week we are thinking a little bit more globally. We're looking at international protest movement, social movements of protest, and we're going to start with reading about what every revolutionary should know, a musical model of global protest. So, revolution is really a popular takeover or refashioning of an entire system for society. So we think about, revolutions in, let's say, something like technology, where technology, such major, massive, widespread change happens in certain technological spheres, and it changes the way people engage. For instance, the revolution of the internet. But when we think about political revolutions, we're really thinking about changing entire governing system, right? An entire government, the people perhaps involved in it, though not necessarily all of them, but definitely the entire system of governance. So, for instance, we have checked out recently the falling of the Berlin Wall and the revolution around Russia and the fall of Soviet Union, right? So that was a complete change. Now, it doesn't mean that some of the folks who know about government don't continue to work in government. I mean, you want to have the person who knows the most about, sanitation routes in your city being able to continue to run that department. But it does mean a pretty significant overhaul of the entire system of governance. And to get that kind of thing to happen requires quite a lot of agitation. It can start small, but it really requires extending and growing a much larger group, galvanizing community around a mission of revolution. So, our chapter this week, of course, looks at music and its role in this. And we see several ideas about what or how music operates or can operate to help with that goal of defining what the revolution should be about and really bringing in the large swath of support that's really necessary for a revolution. The second thing we're going to be reading about this week is the revolution in South Africa, the revolution that overturned the apartheid government and the system of apartheid that ruled in that country for many decades. That rule was not too unlike what we saw in America in terms of Jim Crow, segregationist governance in southern states at the tail end of the 19th century through the mid-20th century. But in this case, meted out more harshly, with more technological advancement, and of course in an entirely different society. Not one that was overcoming slavery, but actually one that was endemically based on racialized policies. So, we're going to be looking at apartheid, and specifically, of course, the way that music played a role in helping to foster the revolution to overturn apartheid. So happy reading, happy listening, and we'll see you next week.